Welcome to the Self-Reality Podcast, a show where we like to talk all things reality TV, the good, the bad, and the outrageous. I'm your host, Angie, and today we are talking Survivor Season 49, Episode 4. And here to talk all about this episode with me is my brother, amazing guy, and podcaster, Nick Hanlon. Welcome.
Hi, Reality Survivor Episode 4.
Yay. And real quick, before we get into it, please like, share, subscribe over here. I would really appreciate it. And while you're at it, go on over and check out both of Nick's amazing podcasts. First one is called Dirty Glass Podcast, Booze Reviews for the Unrefined, where Nick and Denny like to drink drinks and talk about all the fun stuff. And then you have Kayfabe Wrestling Talk, where handsome Nick Hanlon and Matthew Barnaby talk about wrestling the way it should be talked about. So for all your reality TV needs, come here, subscribe, watch all the things. Drinking, go on over to Dirty Glass Podcast. Wrestling.
And if you want to hear about the true reality sport,
Wrestling.
come check out Kayfabe Wrestling Talk with handsome Nick Hanlon and Matthew Barnaby.
Okay, so with that being said, let's get into this episode.
By the way, the Toronto Blue Jays have made the World Series.
So congratulations, Blue Jays. Go Jays, go. What's the next game? Saturday, Sunday?
Friday's the World Series. First time we've been in the World Series since 1993.
Yep.
Check out the Springer Dinger, the home run that got Jays into the World Series. I don't think it's going to be a happy World Series for us, but hey, who knows? They have a guy on the Dodgers. I know we're not talking about that, but he makes $700 million over 10 years. Biggest contract in sports history, and that's who we're going up against, a generational talent. All right.
So if we recall from episode 3, Jeremiah went home, and that was after the big snake bite situation with Jake going home. So Kella is down to 2 people remaining, and
sad.
It's
Survivor
sad.
Starts sad.
It does start sad. But can I make a side note? Nick, I wonder if you caught this. So if you'll notice, they recorded them on the beach that night. Who's left? Sophie and who's the other guy? Alex. Did you notice that the ocean stole one of Sophie's shoes? Jake, the shoe bandit, his spirit lives on with the ocean.
Oh, that's right. I didn't even think did they bring that up?
No, and I wish someone had brought that up, because I was like, I totally noticed that. I'm like, he's still there. The ocean took on, and I wonder if it was a left shoe. So I hope that somebody addresses that. So I just had to point out that I noted that, and I thought that was pretty interesting.
Why would they go to sleep on that by that ocean and that pile of shit? What are they doing? They're sleeping in a pile of bushes, like right by, like, do people not understand tides? Like, you've been there a few days. You've never seen the tide.
Well, they've been there over a week.
Right.
And I just think, I thought the same. I'm like, why would they sleep on the beach? I mean, I get that it's probably more comfortable than sleeping on hard bamboo, but wouldn't you want to elevate yourself from even the rodents and stuff and the tides? But it sounds like, and we'll get into this in this episode, it sounds to me like they don't have a shelter. Like, they didn't even really build a shelter or anything. It's a pretty decimated or crappy campsite, I would argue. So interesting, start sad. They go to the challenge. Or the first time I've ever heard Jeff use the expression, it's what did he call it? A survivor fake out.
Well, before we start, so when everybody came in, there was first of all, Sophie says she hopes for an underdog story to start. I mean, of course you hope for an underdog. This is going to be the start of an underdog story. What, you hope you're going to lose? Yeah. But when the Eno tribe, or Eno, whatever,
Oogly?
And they came in, they're like, oogly, oogly, oogly. I don't know if you caught it. Nobody pointed it out, but somebody on one of the other teams went, cringe.
I did hear that. Thank you. I may have written it. I think I wrote it down. That's awesome. I'm glad you noted that. It is cringe. And it's cringe for for all of you who are watching all of our episodes, I've said it's cringe, and I don't like it from day one. I don't like people coming. I understand enthusiasm, yay, but like there's a time and a place. And
well, the thing is, like, they don't understand is they're gonna work with these people eventually.
Exactly, and it's obnoxious.
So you're like rubbing it into these people's face. You're being obnoxious. This is high school shit. Smarten up.
And the poor it makes me wonder if they really gave a crap about the Kella tribe who lost everyone and who Jake, had a life-threatening experience, or at least like a fear of losing his life, and you come in chanting after last week when no one even cheered when they won the challenge. It's just tone deaf. It's tone deaf. So good call, Nick. I don't think it's anywhere I was gonna remember it. So basically what we talked about last week happens. There's a tribe switch, and here's another interesting. I find we got some sort of behind the scenes stuff, I feel like.
You're gonna
So
bring up
Jeff,
what I got written down here, but go ahead.
oh, okay.
No. I mean, Jeff does mention. Are you talking about the amount of people?
And the game design?
Like
Nick and
Jeff's
I,
like, well,
yeah.
usually at we had it labeled 14 people where this is going to happen, but we're here a little early because Jake was it Jake? Jake got bit by the snake, right? So it's interesting because we always talk about like, are they ever doing anything off the cuff, or is everything? So I guess they just plan everything by the number of people that are left.
Well, and you and I have talked at great length about this because
At nauseum, if you will.
yeah, exactly. We have, because I'm always the one saying, I think this seems like they planned it. Like this is too timely, but I would think they would also these are experienced producers as well. And this is a top tier, arguably a top tier reality game show, I would say. And they would have a vibe too on how things are going to play out and when a good time to throw a wrench in. So him mentioning game design was super cool to me
It
because
was
being such,
interesting.
and the fact that he called it a survivor fake out because they don't actually do a challenge, I suspect that they did it because it was supposed to be the challenge and they wanted to at least use the setup since they would probably have already created it maybe. But he's never called something, this is a survivor fake out. What?
I've never seen them show up to something that looks so much like a challenge and then not do the challenge.
Never.
And he said it like they do it every year.
I know, and I wanted to get that's why I was asking, not really, I didn't ask it, but like, what's your take on it? Because I thought they've never done that. I've now watched every season back to front because I watched the first half of season 1 recently, which is the only part I'd ever missed of Survivor. So I think, yeah, I think Jeff is just, they wanted to use the props. Maybe don't you like to think of the behind the scenes? Like maybe someone's like, we worked so hard on this challenge. We have to at least set it up and, whatever.
I don't know. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, now I don't know if anything's like that.
So then they do the switch up. So it's, they just pull out the buffs or whatever, like the wrapped up buffs, and it's an interesting split. It's like we talked about this last time as well. Are they going to send some people to the Kella tribe because it's just a crappy camp because they just didn't do a good job and they've been decimated? And they did. And not only did they send people to the blue tribe, like the Kella tribe, they sent people to the hammock tribe, to like the beautiful, why can't I think of it? Structure, the whatever. Oh my God. What's the name of when you stay in the place?
The now I forget because you made me forget. You said it up to like 3 minutes ago. Shelter.
My God, it's been a long day. So we have it basically on Kella. 4 of the four original Hina end up on Kella. Then you have 2 Uli and Alex. There's only 2. It was almost a perfect split to one team's advantage. And then the yellow tribe, you got 4 original Uli, Sophie, and then 2 from Hina. So that's kind of interesting, and it kind of plays out. So we go to the new Kella tribe. What I've noted about this, because it irritated me beyond anything, was the other Sophie, not the Sophie from the original Kella.
Yeah, I just noticed her now. Like that episode, there's another Sophie. It's the first time I've even known that.
She's not made a big impact as yet, but now she has. I do not like her. She's whiny. We didn't even get to use the hammocks. This camp is sucky. Boo hoo. Go to tribal. You need to go to tribal.
This is Survivor, bitch.
This is real Survivor. What you guys are playing, and I always think this about the tribes that win and win and win. You ain't playing Survivor. This is now Survivor. You're at a shitty camp. Suck it up, princess. That's my opinion. Okay. Sage and Shannon, kind of interesting that they're the only 2 from the original Uli tribe. They're stuck together and they don't. I don't know. They weren't really working together.
Yeah,
no, well, remember it was last time that Sage tried to work with Shannon, but Shannon turned around And I felt bad for Sage, and you made very good points that, of course Shannon went and told Savannah, but now they're stuck working together. And Sage doesn't like it because I agree with Sage in that Shannon is walking around being very performative. It's too much. And then Calatribe, I thought it was interesting. I will make a note at the new Calatribe. Steven says that Shannon is a shark in Guru's body, which I thought was a good quote.
Interesting.
Because he's already called it. I think she probably is good with her spiritual practice, but I felt she was being a little performative on her original tribe, to be quite honest with you. And now it's just threefold. But people are, if Steven's seeing through it already, he won't be and Sage is already seeing through it. I think, I don't know, she better figure it out before they
How
go to
about the other?
tribal.
How about the other Sophie getting herself in with the tribe already?
That's this whole, I think that's a lot of my notes is Sophie. I have to give it to her. Sophie with just an eye is really playing up the lost puppy. She even says it, the lost puppy. I'm an orphan. Please, I'm loyal. And she's got the whole business line of I'm loyal and I'm this and I'm that. Hey, let's,
It's working.
you've
People are
it's
believing it.
working. People are really believing it. But what I think is going to be funny is I don't think she's that loyal. Like
No.
I think she's very smart. I think she's very strategic, and I think she's highly manipulative. And she's admitted this herself. So good on her. I'm digging her game because the rest of the tribe basically kind of feels like, Nate and who is it? Like Nate and Matt and all of them, they seem to just have taken her right in. Not Matt necessarily, Nate and Jason. Not Jason. Jason's from, oh God, Jason. Okay. Let's also talk about Matt and Jason's very opposite approaches because they're the odd people out on the New Hannah tribe. So you have Matt playing too hard. Like, dial it back, Matt. Dial it back. Dial it back. He's not really picking up the vibe that Sophie's been kind of adopted. So he throws her name out, but then he throws Nate's name out. He's just throwing anyone's name out. Like you gotta, and I thought Savannah was excellent here in finding out what his previous job was. That was interesting. Uh,
Finance.
and then she calls him a sociopath. Anyone who got that high has got to be a sociopath. So that was interesting. He was in like high finance in a brokerage firm. But then you have Savannah going up to Jason to talk and basically like, will you work with us? And he says, no. What are you doing?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I'll help you guys get far enough, but then like basically I'm going to go back with the original Hina tribe. What are you doing?
He's never
W
watched.
WTF are you doing? Just
I don't
lie,
know why. I don't know why he's not leaning on his puzzle skills.
right?
Like that's all I'd be talking about is like we're still in group challenges. You want puzzles done? I'm your guy. I don't know if he's just got lack of confidence or he doesn't know he's that good at puzzles, but it's all I'd be talking about.
Me too. I'm like,
He's
oh, I love
single-handedly
puzzles.
won almost every challenge just because
Do you
of the
want to
puzzle.
know? Yeah. Do you want to know why? And he's on the yeah, and he remained on the original Hina tribe. So he should be look at all these things that we've won. Look at the hammocks, look at the this, look at the that. That's because of my puzzle skills. Instead, he's just playing a terrible game and you should lie because Savannah, you're next on her list. And that woman she's smart and sharp. Like she's gonna weed these people out. So that was interesting. And she even she says to him, well, why didn't you tell us before? He's like, well, no one actually asked me what I did before the job I have. Because it's smart of him too to just play up, oh, I'm just like a baggage handler, an airport handler or whatever, right?
Yeah, but he accidentally kind of said, I don't know if I should share my finance background. And then he said, well, nobody
That's
asked me.
true.
So it was like the same conversation. He already lied right in front of them.
That's true. He did not, neither him or Jason. This is what's interesting. We haven't seen them have to be really strategic yet because Hina won everything.
Social game
Neither
bad.
bad social game. This is where the rubber hits the road in terms of seeing what people are made of on the game and what their interpersonal and their resiliency and their ability to maneuver. And Jason and Matt, it's showing. Whereas Uli, although they haven't lost yet either, are the original Uli are. I think there was a little bit more gaming going on that tribe. And then let's see. Christina, I actually felt for her when she was talking about her mom, how her mom had died, and like that story, that was a tear-jerking story. And the fact that she's there to sort of represent her mom, I thought that was a nice, not a nice story, like it's a sad story, but like to see what relationships she had, and they showed the pictures. She shares that, but also, so that's, they share a little bit. I do like that. I
I mean,
feel they're
Nate was
kind.
crying earlier too
Oh,
because of the
what was he talking
kids,
about?
missing the
Oh,
kid.
missing his kids. Yes, of course.
So much
But
crying.
I don't, I was going to say the opposite. I feel like they're doing a good job of interspersing sort of the personal stories. They're not doing like a 10-minute
It's way less than like the Survivor, the
montage.
2 seasons after
Yeah.
COVID.
Like I
Those
feel
were
like
hard to watch.
it was intense. This time because I do want to know some of their backstories, and I do like that they're sharing what drove them to come here, and again with Christina, as you know, we've lost a parent, right? Like just sort of feeling that connection to that and them going on the show. So I thought that was interesting. On the other hand, Christina, from a strategic standpoint, was talking to Shannon, who's from the original Uli tribe, about working with her. So I thought it was interesting that she's trying to maneuver with other players. Like that's a smart move. So I'm curious to see how she progresses with that sort of gameplay. And I'm hoping to see more of it.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's it. And then we're at the immunity
Challenge.
challenge. Okay. I have to complain. I have to complain again about, I have a bone to pick about Sophie again. The Sophie with an E. She complains about the fruit. No, there are people here from the original Kella who've eaten nothing. You don't get to complain. Like you're just looking spoiled just
It was
because you
interesting that
guys.
she just called it health. She's like, this looks like health food. I want a burger.
This looks like the food I eat when I'm on a diet. You are on a diet. It's called the survivor diet, and that's not the diet food. The diet food is, the coconuts or whatever. But you guys have been eating like kings and queens over there. It made me mad. I don't like it. The entitlement. She's going to get knocked down a few pegs. And then, so now, Nick, please describe what the challenge was, because it wasn't a puzzle.
No, there was no puzzle. So you got to pull a boat, get cubes. One person carries some of the big cubes over a balance beam. The rest of the cubes, the team stacks them up separately and puts them on a balance beam where they got to like carry them on like 2 balance beams, right? So one guy, which was the
And
wrong
then a
guy
rope.
on one of the teams, had to carry all the heavy cubes across. And then there was the rope
Yeah,
thing
Matt.
where they had to balance it. I don't know how to explain that any better.
No, that
And then they have to stack the cubes, which was an interesting challenge.
we haven't seen it a lot this way, where they basically have to get up on top of each other and
Hmm.
form like a human ladder kind of dealio to stack them, which got really interesting because the team that was behind, I can't remember who was who, they caught up, and it ended up being quite a neck and neck race. But in the end,
Well, the one
Kella,
team got the tall people, right? And
yeah,
MC,
yeah.
it really shined in this one. You could
Oh yeah, her
such
fitness,
a
she's a fitness trainer.
such an athlete. And I was like,
Like,
oh my
holy
god.
shit. Like
And she's
her
got some
just jumping
cake.
up.
Yeah.
Like that was incredible. And then Kella finally wins, even though, it's not really Kella. There's only one person left from Kella, but Kella finally wins their first immunity challenge.
Rizzo is so Staten Island. Oh my god.
Where do you see that? Like what happened that makes you
He
say
just
that?
talks just like he talks like Brooklyn Nine-Nine guy, Andy Samberg in that. Just the way he talks, it's so New York, Brooklyn, Staten Island. It's just this confidence and stupidity,
Oh, he calls himself
right?
Riz God, and okay. I like that confidence and
RZZO and
yeah.
but just the way his mannerisms, the way he talks, it's very that not Manhattan. It's very, one
Is
of
that
those other
Brooklyn,
boroughs.
or what's the borough? Staten
Well, he's
Island?
Staten Island.
Okay. Is that how Pete Davidson, like, isn't Pete Davidson from Staten Island? Am I
Similar.
getting that
I
wrong?
mean, he's got that similar kind of attitude. And if you watch like that movie he did,
I
King
haven't
of
watched
Staten
it yet. That's
Island,
why I
there's
thought of it.
some of that in there. It's just this
I like how you describe the
unproven
confident, but
confidence that they have.
I like that. And is he on the losing tribe or the winning tribe?
I think he was on the winning tribe. I think that's why I noted it.
No, 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 no. He was on the losing. Yeah, because Hina loses and he's on the Hina tribe.
I don't know why I noted it then. So he did something.
Oh, and he had to, because if you remember, when they go back to the camp, they have to dig out his immunity idol or he loses his vote. And in order for
Right.
them to do that, he had to be on the losing tribe. So we're back at Hina, and they, like I said, mentioned they dig that out. Matt's still making all his plays that I don't feel are strategic or well thought through. It's the throw enough shit against the wall and see what sticks kind of game, which can work, by the way, it can work, but you got some people who are in tight with one another. So I just was like, I don't know. And Jason at Tribal, He's still clueless. Like someone, I think
He has no idea what's going on.
Savannah calls out that she's worried if someone is not willing to work with her. And he
And he's
doesn't,
just like, huh?
Jason, like someone talk to him. Someone needs to go and have a chat with him and say, hey, we're in Survivor. It's not camp. You're not going to get your buddies back from Hina and everything's good. Well, maybe, I don't know. Maybe he'll make it through. Who knows? Maybe they'll have a puzzle next week and he'll get it. I found there are a couple interesting tense parts in honesty at Tribal, which could be partially because it's a lot of their first time at Tribal.
Yeah.
So
A lot of people walking up to Tribal like Joanne, he was just like,
yeah, that would have been me. So Nate calls out Matt for putting his name out. I did find,
and that's
actually,
where Matt made the biggest mistake, is he went to Jawan and tried to make this big plan to get Nate out, right? And then of course Jawan immediately goes to Nate and tells him.
of course. So I think, and he also threw Sophie's name out, and that's where he discovers it, in real time that they've adopted her basically in their tribe. And
It
he's
just shows how
surprised.
little he knows what's going on.
Well, this is where, and if we theorize, it could be partly due to the fact that they haven't lost and maybe they're just never were going to be strong strategic players, him and Jason, because those two are both the ones on the sort of chopping block. And Matt, you'd think he would have been paying a little more attention. And he just was.
He was just so focused on his ideas and didn't think to take a temperature. Because if he slowed down, who got voted? Was it Matt that got voted out? I forgot. Larry peed over a bunch of stuff during Survivor, so I missed a couple things.
Almost a clean sweep.
But like they were really leaning on Jason at first, and I think it's like Matt's overplaying and throwing people's names out without taking the temperature of anything that's going on at all. It was just him, and he just had this tunnel vision. And he thought he was. It's like the girl that got voted out, for the older girl who's our age.
Yes.
Like where she just believed everything she was saying is happening instead of just kind of like, there's a very important rule in sales, and it's called listening. Ask and listen. And they did the opposite of that. They just talked their shit.
They thought
everybody was just buying it, and away you go. And then he goes to Tribal and he's just like, people are saying stuff, and he's like, oh, I had no idea. Well, of course you don't listen. You have this self-importance to you. I think Jason probably also didn't know what was going on, but he wasn't like playing so hard to just throw people under the bus, which actually is kind of the plan he said he was going to do. I just want to seem unassuming.
Exactly. Well, I totally, you nailed it. So maybe us Gen Xers, aren't good at listening, because this is the second Gen Xer to go because he just wasn't listening. Like he just didn't, and I can't fathom it because it's called interpersonal skills. It's back and forth. And that tells me how disconnected they are at this point, or overall, from actual intuition. Because there's going to be, they say vibes, and we joked about it because of Gen Z, but
Matt
vibes,
had none of that.
Yeah, vibes is a thing. You can feel palpable. I can anyway. And I think, I don't know, a lot of people, you can feel distinct vibes if you stop and listen with your.
When you watch the first 3 episodes, you're like, Jason's a no-brainer to get to the final 4. But then you see his play, and you're like, I
don't believe that anymore.
Like his camp play, like he just doesn't get it or something. But he survived this, whatever his plan was. So I guess we'll see. But when you play so hard and you're not asking, you're just like throwing names out, and you don't know the connection because you've known them for like 2, however many hours. It's a problem.
2 hours, 3 hours. What you do is, I think you have to balance out, and again, easy for me to say, observing, like what you said for sales, listening, but also observing. I would add in feeling, in terms of just, how does this feel in your body? Does this feel weird? Does this feel, you can kind of, but just observing behaviors, and then being okay, because obviously has some, her, and so did the other woman whose name I can't remember, like they have some intelligence. So based on your observations, based on behaviors, based on how you feel, what's the best approach? Where's the sticking point? Where can you cause a wedge? Where can you wedge in? What's the argument? He should have figured out that Sophie was already like taken in by them. That was not.
Jason should have been like, hey, you want to take Matt out? You got my vote. Just like Sophie did. She's like, well, you want to make a move? You got my vote.
Exactly.
Not trying to come up with this elaborate plan to vote out probably one of the most liked guys on the tribe.
Yeah, he's likable. Nate's likable. What Matt should have done is, thrown Jason's name out. Listen, this
That's
guy
exactly what he should have did.
can crush it, and that's it. He should have just gone at Jason. He shouldn't have he doesn't
tried
know
that
the
at
other,
Tribal,
but
he'd
it's too
already
late.
said everything to everybody else because, exactly. Yeah.
And here's my question for you, though, because Nate calls him throwing people under the bus. Is it really throwing? Like, I kind of agree with Matt a bit, like where he said, well, I was just putting suggestions. It's Survivor. Like, you have to throw names out. So is that throwing everybody under the bus? You're just throwing out theories.
Yeah.
I
It was interesting how they both.
But to see how their brains work. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, like, my note about them at Tribal is Jason and Matt and their follow up to Tribal or whatever. Jason and Matt did a terrible job. I have no idea who's gonna get voted out.
I wasn't sure. I was leaning to Matt because he was just playing so hard. And once they got to Tribal, as soon as Nate called him out and said, well, he threw Jason's name, he threw my name, he threw Sophie's name.
That was it. Yeah.
I thought, oh yeah, it's Matt. I think people from the other tribes who haven't been to Tribal yet too, I think they feel more comfortable throwing out a hard gamer versus someone who a little unassuming. I think Savannah, I can't remember who voted because Jason got 2 votes. It was probably Savannah because she's much more strategic in some ways than say, I think Nate was just bum hurt that his name got thrown out instead
I think they showed her vote Jason.
Yeah, because Jason was
did.
voted, Matt would have voted Jason because he got 2 votes, and I think it would have been Savannah, and good on her. She's actually looking at the bigger picture. Here's a guy who is not willing to work with me. He's in the bottom 2. He is not in the majority.
He's also very dangerous once you do the trip.
Highly dangerous because he's a very unassuming, likable guy, and he's smart. Puzzles. There's puzzles in individual.
There's puzzles, and he seems like athletic enough. Like,
yes, he seems like fit. He seems friendly. He's friendly. He's actually is really loyal because the fact that he's saying he'll stick with Hina. So Matt goes home. I can't say I blame them. I think I would have voted Matt as well. What about you? Like, he was
100%.
just playing because I would feel like I could possibly manipulate Jason more or get him out with the next vote or something. Like, I think I would have gone with Matt. I don't think I would have tried for any of the other tribes. Maybe Sophie, but I think who knows when you're in that paranoia and that craziness too, how you're going to react, right? Like, I can sit on my couch and say, well, I would have sat back and watched and listened. Or maybe I would have been in a panic like Matt was, and I don't know.
Yeah, I would have given Jason a talking to at some point.
Or work with Jason and come up with it. Like, the other option for Matt would be come up with a strategy with Jason. Like, find the crack. There might be a crack in that alliance. I don't think there was. I think that one of them was hooped, whatever way you cut it. I think Sophie went in hard. She's really good at being like, oh my goodness, I'm so loyal. Like, she's so good at playing up that innocent girl card. You know, she's just primo.
And Jason doesn't seem like he has a bit of social anxiety.
Yeah. So my hope is, because I like Jason and I would like to see where he takes this. What I would like to see is his underdog story, which isn't really an underdog story, but I would like to see him learn from this. I want him to be, crap, I didn't know that Sophie, I didn't know these things. Why was there 2 votes for me? Who voted for me? Maybe I need to play a different game. And Savannah, I don't know if he's going to make the connections. I would love to see him make the connections the way he does a puzzle. Like, Savannah said that when Savannah said that thing, right, about people not working with her, was it me? Because he didn't seem to realize it in the moment. Like, does he just take longer to process? I don't know.
I don't know if he was playing dumb or if he's just socially not
Social
there.
anxiety is possible.
Plus, he's the least prepared for the Survivor because he was an alternate.
Oh, that's true too. Oh, yeah. Okay, well, pretty good episode. I was pretty interested. How did you like it?
I enjoyed it. It was good.
It's been a decent season so far.
Yeah.
So that's all I had. Do you have anything else?
No, I think we covered it.
Well, good reminders for Survivor coming up. Well, when this releases today or tomorrow, whatever. So anyway, then with all that being said, thank you everybody for watching. Remember, please like and subscribe here. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. And while you're at it, of course, the Dirty Glass Podcast with Nick and Denny, Booze Reviews for the Unrefined, and Kayfabe Wrestling Talk, the way wrestling should be talked about, with handsome Nick Hanlon and Matthew Barnaby. Go check all those things out, and go Jays go.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.